Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is the Voge 525 DSX, the mid-weight adventure bike that literally is scaring all of the other brands. The reason why? The incredible price point, $5,999 on the road, less than £6,000, and it is full of loads of bells and whistles. But is it any good on those long haul rides? Is it the Midway adventure bike that you need in your life? Well, let's find out and let's review it. Well, how am I going to test it on the long haul ride? Well, right now I'm here in Desborough, that's in the East Midlands of the UK, and I'm thinking, do you know what? Let's ride all the way to Wales, all the way to Snowdonia for a cup of tea, 170 miles there, 170 miles back, just to test this bike out. And I do like tea, and I do really like Wales, so it's a win-win. But just before we put this 494cc engine through its paces, including A roads, dual carriageways, motorways, and of course beautiful Welsh twisty bends, this has a party trick. This screen is adjustable, so you've got the what I call the sports mode and then the cruiser mode. So this windshield up and down just like that. So let's put it in the up position, because the first we're going to hit is fast dual carriageways. Well, here we go on the road, and this engine produces 47.6 horsepower, and the power delivery is unbelievably smooth. It's just a really smooth engine. I'm not getting any vibration setting off whatsoever at all, that I really like. Now we're on a nice standard A road just before we hit the dual carriageway, and instantly off the bat I feel comfortable in a really nice and neutral position. I've not kind of got that over the top leaning forward kind of wrong sporty position for an engine bike. It's very neutral and where it's supposed to be. I do like this Voge 525 DSX comes with this display, this whopping big display that's just full of everything, isn't it? You've got your gear change in there, you've got your rev counter, your big miles per hour, you can't really miss that. Even if you've got bad eyesight, you can see that it's that big. You've also got your outside temperature, your tyre pressures, also your fuel gauge, and you've got obviously how many kilometers, miles that you're doing, and you've got your internal engine temperature and a clock, just so you know that you're running late for work. So you can obviously then whack this, if you so want to, into sports mode, because you've got E for eco mode, for chilling. Then you've got this little sportier mode. But of course the one thing we'll do is we'll save sports mode for later. We'll do it properly later when we've got the Welsh twisters, the creme de la creme of the road. So now we're about to go on to the dual carriageway, so let's open up the beans and see what the power's like. Full throttle, here we go. Well, that got to 70 pretty quickly. Now do not get me wrong, it is not throwing me off of the bike, nowhere near throwing me off the bike, but that revs sweetly, smoothly. Top of the revs, it sort of reminds me of when I had my RS 125 two-stroke, that wood. Ooh, that's a little bit of fun, cheeky fun. So what I've done, I've put in a sort of a midway point in the sat nav, so I've put Shrewsbury in, and the reason why, one, it gives me that fair sort of first 90 plus miles test of the bike, see how I feel then. And also I've invited a friend. I just said, do you fancy a cup of tea on a mountain? And he was like, where? And I went, Wales. And he went, alright then boy, I'm up for that. So we decided to meet at Shrewsbury, so we're gonna have a good test of distance, but I'm interested to see what he thinks of this bike as well. So shall we hack down some of this dual carriageway and see how I feel in a few miles time. Well, I'm now coming up to almost covering 50 miles, and we're currently on the M6 hacking down those motorway miles. Now we've got our average speed cameras and it's getting busy, so they keep dropping to 60 and all the boring stuff, but coming up to that 50 miles I'm still comfortable. I'm still in this nice comfortable position, and this silky smooth engine, it's just so nice. I'm not getting any major vibration still coming through, I'm not getting numb fingers or any of that. Now in regards to what this can do top speed, and there is no way at all in a million years I'd have caught speed, but this will do over 100 miles an hour. Not that I know that in any way whatsoever, but over 100 miles an hour. So for motorway blasting, it works. This mid-size adventure bike really is good at this.
So I've just arrived at my halfway point, and what I really like about this bike, for that price point of just shy of £6 grand, you get your full set of panniers to put all of your kit in, all of your gear. So when you're going on that big adventure, you can fit it all in. Also, the seat height that I really like, pulling into the car park, 810 millimeters. I can flat foot it. 5'8", reasonably long legs, but I can flat foot it. That I really like. But the big thing is, I like this bike a lot, but let's find out what someone else thinks. So this is Mike, who we like to call the Welsh boy, but the thing of it is, he owns the Benelli 702. So this is going to be quite interesting. So Mike, what did you think of the Voge 525?
First impressions of it coming in, I really like it, I'll be honest with you. It proper stands out and pops.
So pure features of this bike, right? You literally get a 1080p camera put in the front of this bike, right? You also get auxiliary lights and crash bars, all as standard, plus the luggage for less than £6 grand on the road. The difference between this and the Benelli, what's the price of the Benelli on the road?
Just under £7 grand if I remember correctly.
Bigger engine though.
Bigger engine, no crash bars. I've had to buy my own crash bars for it.
You got the luggage.
But I did get the luggage as well included in that price, yes.
So as an owner of the Benelli, what is a beautiful bike, we have reviewed that before on the channel, which way are you swaying just on that?
On the looks, I kind of prefer the Vogue, if I'm honest with you.
Oh,
I kind of do.
Oh, that's saucy. That's saucy. The Vogue's winning from a Benelli owner. Right, what we're going to do, we're going to hack down some more miles, because of course we've got to have a cup of tea on Snowdon.
Well, I've just filled up the tank, and this will hold 16.5 litres, and I've just put in 13.57, the cost of £18.82. But that's not bad. That's not bad. 6.5 litres with this bike, it's going to be quite economical. So we've got 73 miles to go until we hit the base camp as such of Snowdon. So let's hack down a few more miles on the beautiful A5. Let's get into Wales, let's get to the fun, and let's see what this bike can do. Well, after hacking down all of those boring miles, we've arrived here, the land of Wales, where they have such things like soup in a basket, get me a Fanta now in a minute. But what they have got on top of all of that is some excellent roads. Now we're just about to enter a village called Llangollen, and then we're gonna have a little bit more cheeky fun, as this road is reasonably fast but also has some nice twisters, and that of course is the A5. What means that we should probably select sports mode and see how this 525 DSX handles. So let's swap from eco mode to sports mode and let's have some fun. Now it instantly has that slight increase of power, but what it also has is a continuation of this smooth power delivery. Oh, this is so smooth and nice. It's like riding on a cloud of happiness. but also quite fun. Oh, this is fun. Let's tip it in. Let's see how she handles. Oh, that is light and chuckable. There's a lot of going on with this bike. This is seriously nice. Now, it isn't throw you back power again, but what it is enough to keep you smiling. Let's drop it down a gear. Let's see what it's like a bit higher up in the revs. So that's third. Let's slow it down. Let's tip it into this bend and let's get a little bit of acceleration as we're coming out. So we'll hold it, we'll hold it, we'll hold it, and now let's throttle it. Yeah, the power's up there. There's the power. Oh, oh yes. That makes you feel gazeboed. That's where the fun is. The fun is right up at the top of the rev range. Oh, and it sounds that bit more meaty as well. I can't stop saying the word "oh" about this bike.
So we've seen the Voge 525 on these twisty bends releasing a little bit of power, but what does it look like as we're enjoying that power? Well, let's find out. Let me show you. Well, I'm sure you'll agree, this is fun on the twisties. So much fun. I was like, this is so light and nimble. It feels like riding a 200cc sports bike. And that's because it weighs 191 kilograms. What means this bike is incredibly light and incredibly good fun to ride on those kind of roads. So it can do motorway speeds, it can do twisties. What else can it do?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Snowdonia. Right in the heart of Wales, Snowdonia, the beautifulness all around us. And one of the things about this bike, and even on the slightly bumpier roads, the suspension serves you well because it's made by Kayaba. And not just that, it's fully adjustable. So with your 3 panniers that you get with the bike, fully loaded with a passenger, you can adjust it front and back to keep giving you that silky smooth ride that I really, really like. But we've come all this way to enjoy a cup of tea while we look at Snowdon. So shall we just hack down this last mile, find this perfect place and enjoy a lovely brew taking in the vista?
Well, the Voge 525 DSX has taken us 170 miles to Snowdon, the place where we want to be, the place where we're going to enjoy our tea. But it's done it in true 11 out of 10 style. But shall we just take a moment and take in Snowdon and enjoy a beautiful cup of tea?
was lost in the woods under dust, and the fairies found me. And they led the way, they cleared the way to my heart. All the hurt, all the pain under the skin, I had fainted. And they carried me, they cleared the way to my heart. Thank you to magic for rescuing me. Thank you to summer for fairies, blowing glitter in the wind.
Well, with the perfect cup of tea looking over at Snowdon, it's time for me to get back on the Voge and travel the 170 miles back home. Let's see how I feel after doing another 170. Well, that's 340 miles completed, and I just spent the last 170 miles trying to think of a negative about this bike. Now, I expected to get off this bike and tell you that my bottom has been pounded and I'm walking like John Wayne, but the reality of it is I've been really comfortable for 340 miles. I was also expecting to say that this engine, this 494cc engine, is lacking power. It needs more, but it doesn't, because at the top of the rev range, it is so much fun. It is plentiful. You are literally giggling. It is smile per mile of just joy. And then cornering, this bike just weighing that 191 kilograms. It is so much fun in the bends. It's so light. I was going around and going, God, how is this doing it? It just literally has blown me away. Even the luggage system that comes with this bike, the free luggage system, it is plentiful on space. You can go away for a weekend and fill this to the brim with stuff. But if you want to go for a week or even go around the world, you can even strap stuff on top of it, like your tent, your sleeping bag, all of the good stuff. This is the perfect long haul bike. The Voge 525 DSX has really impressed me, and I can't believe all of this at 5,999 on the road. In my opinion, this bike is easily a 10 grand bike, easily, if not pushing even 11 grand. The place to pick up this bike, if you want to go off on an adventure, a long haul ride, the place is MotoGB. Pop over to their website, motogb.co.uk, and just order it, get it delivered. Trust me, you're going to love it. But if you don't trust me, pop into one of their dealerships and try it for yourself. The one thing I'll say, take your card with you, because you're gonna end up buying it. This bike has impressed me like incredibly. It is worth every single penny and so much more. And what more can I possibly say other than, ladies and gentlemen, I give you one of the most incredible Midway adventure bikes out on the market today, the Voge 525 DSX. This bike is just simply wow.